the education sector. First of all, we have to appreciate the document that the department has compiled, which is worthy of our appreciation. There's one recommendation that I want to put forward. We have not officially included schools in our policy at all. If we want to encourage the startup culture, we have to inject that very much in the schooling days so that students are ready for a startup in their college. We in our district have already started a little initiative wherein we have a informal and unofficial incubation center for our school itself, wherein students come up with their ideas and we try and connect them to real industry men and women, and just to give face to their ideas, and they are into research and points so on and so forth. So the ultimate idea is that let's include schools in the policy and not leave them out. Secondly, small suggestion again. This flows from the fact कि जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. The document needs to reach the public at large. And आज की डेट पे हम सिर्फ एक limited लोग यहाँ पे जो document के बारे में जान रहे हैं. Why can't we have a startup hub in our city? Just imagine a cool छोटा सा area, maybe a cafe, wherein a person from the department is sitting, wherein a compliance department is sitting, as in help in terms of legal, tech, so on and so forth, and including it with some library, discussion center, a cafe focused for startups. I say cafe because I want that bright image in your mind, not an office. There are centers, incubators in universities and colleges, but let's do that in more public areas and wherein people can walk in and just discuss about a problem and just start a startup. Get a chai pe charcha sorts for people. So that's it.
May I? The policy is already benefiting from the wisdom and energies of the people on the dais. I am just carrying forward from the words of Professor Vyas, Radhika ma'am, and just now what Angad said. Getting funding from Series A onwards is striking quite good success. The problem is below that. Now TRL 4 to TRL 7 is the valley of death, and if we can do something starting from the policy parameters wherein the success in the valley of death is enhanced, this will reduce the risk of capital involved in it, and we will have more and more investors coming in to fund that and enter at the early stage. We can categorize into three things, TRL 1 to 3. What we have observed today morning, like Professor Vyas said, that they were doing some fancy things, but they were lacking the business intelligence, which would start from business thinking, like Angad said, that it should start from schools. Like I had one input, I would ask to give a workshop on business thinking in one of the ITIs. And I was surprised to know that there is only a 14 hours course on business. So in 14 hours, a technocrat cannot be made to understand business. It is totally different mind game. So it is as different as differentiation and integration. So we must have business thinking workshops on regular basis. We can have a full-fledged credit course in our institutions, which must be taught by industry people. And also we can engulf the wisdom economy, which Professor Tiwari was talking about, which could lead this rather than the regular academicians. So that would result in aligning the efforts of early stage, nascent stage activities towards the real problem understanding and problem solutions. This would already make a benchmark for a higher success at later stages. At the same time, like we were also talking about the Industry 4, world is moving to Industry 5 also. The problem with the MSMEs, I am also involved in capacity building there. The problem is they want to extract as much as possible and to the maximum length of time from the capital expenditure they have already done. And until it is proved that a new investment would increase multifold, they are not ready even to innovate. Somebody they expect to prove to them that investing ₹1 will turn into ₹10 for them. Now there are people here We already have a couple of them today morning. But their problem is, who would fund that experimental stage? They have the idea. So we should have something. In fact, I would propose at this point that Chandigarh should be put forth globally as a gateway for the North India innovation and emerging business hub. For services especially, these deep tech services, financial services. Why only Hong Kong and New York should have this privilege, when Chandigarh already has such a agile and stable administration and such a large talent pool and institutional setup? We can get all this for the global things. We can think of setting up sandboxes for the global community where they can set up their testing labs here. And then we can have the something like Chandigarh Nivesh Manch, wherein why not charity which enjoys the tax benefit pool into this. This is a more worthy charity actually. This will generate jobs. All the CSR funding must be made eligible for angel funding. So once this is done and the initial funding is provided to this experimental stage, then industry 4 can also take up. Then industry will definitely come up. Industry must also be sensitized towards putting in something. If they are not capable of doing R&D themselves, they must have some budget of say 5% of their revenues or 2% of their revenues for R&D that can channelize into this centralized R&Ds in the form of angel funding. So this way the funding, and another thing is the biggest infrastructure, as Radhika ma'am has also pointed out and Vijeta ma'am has also pointed out, the biggest thing is the mentorship, because they must be aligned towards that. I would also like to highlight a program started by Cornell University. They have started a postdoc in entrepreneurship, wherein a person of various levels of education, when he decides to put in couple of years into this entrepreneurial journey, faculty is included along with an industry mentor, and they all have an equity stake into that. So faculty also ends into financial advantage if that succeeds, which takes care of the technology, and the industry mentor is primarily from financial or the business side, which takes care of the business linkages and the progression of that venture towards the meeting of the business ends and negotiations. So once that matures, now what it has turned out is the whole of the New York venture capital industry is now aligning with this program. This is now again taken up by some institutions of Bangalore, and northern states and northern universities are still not thinking on these type of innovative ideas. So based on 3 TR levels and 3 stages of startup journey, there are 3 types of fundings also. Now currently the initial stage, the nascent stage is primarily satisfied by grants. The second stage is through the angel and the risk funding. The third stage is through the VC part. Now VC part is not really having a problem. So we must focus on stage 1 and 2, which will, because the curve is exponential. If we say about 2% success at the first 2 stages, there is 33 to 50% success at stage 3. But the success at stage 1 is not even 2%, because we are not counting those ideas which cannot reach up to even this platform. So we have to start from educating them for thinking about business, and there must be a nodal agency which can be supported through the budget, state government budgets, and that should be a permanent agency, because the results would not be overnight for these type of activities, and the people working there should have a vision of 10 years. So they must be asked to deliver results over a time period of 5 years and 10 years, maybe with the annual scorecard. But once they have their responsibilities fixed and they are aligned to work with the finance part and the administration part and the industry coordination with this business thinking part, I think results would be fabulous. Thank you.
I would like to add 2 cents here.
Very warm good evening to everyone. It's Dr. Manish Jindal this side. I'm a scientist and entrepreneur. So anyways, Punjabi University is close to my heart, being my alma mater. And working very closely deep into this ecosystem of startups. I'm very glad that this initiative is arising from here, from Punjab University itself. The, just a couple of recommendations, if we can add on. One is that the way we are doing a brainstorming session today with the ecosystem partners, I would humbly request to organize one session solely with the founders, not from the point of view of funding, just to take their viewpoints, so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. Right? Why I'm saying this is, we are running one of the largest, I would say, consortium of angel investors and VCs in the world. We have currently 57 VCs and angel investors on board with us. And right, we are running one of the virtual incubator in Dubai and one in Europe as well, along with India. And believe me and trust me, funding is not an issue. When I'm saying that, tons of money. Take an example of mine. It's been 30 years I've been working. I own 12 companies in 65 countries and no longer want to establish a new company by myself. But I have money, or I have people along with me who are willing to invest in others, who can rise and shine. But the thing is, when we're coming down to these founders, they're not even sensitized about a basic, what is ideation, what is prototyping, what is go-to-marketing strategy, and what is mentoring. Certain times, most of the startups I have come across, they are good to go with the funding they have. 3 days ago, I came across a startup. Guys, you won't believe, this startup holds 7.72 crores in grants only. 7.72 crores from 18 different grants. Imagine, he didn't need the funding, he didn't know the way forward, right? So, as Sir portrayed that, I would say that we should act as a global knowledge hub as well, right? We have a couple of companies in Dubai, and it's now saying that the next economy for UAE is not oil, it's AI. So if we can bank on AI, I'm an AI scientist from past 11 years, if we can develop different models on based of AI, whereby AI itself, we can generate certain dashboards. It can itself segregate startups based on which is ideation, which is prototyping, which might be for Series A, ready for Series A, B, C. That would be great. And we are already running a Founders Hub, which is I would say, a heavy mentoring-based acceleration hub based on the principles of an incubator, right? We do complete handholding right from helping them that from their ideation stage, helping them to build in prototypes. We have tie-ups with T-Works as well in Hyderabad. We don't have any such facility down in North. There is only one facility that exists, that is in Hyderabad. They help in prototyping. You can go live there, make your prototypes. They have the infrastructure available, right? And then preparing their go-to-market strategy. We have mentors right from Microsoft, Amazon, IBM. Currently, we have a pool of 3,500 mentors on board, right? So this, we are willing to plug in this system into the PU system, and 90% of our work is pro bono. So that we can help the budding entrepreneurs, and we can even have the indigenous tech. Because currently India is heavily reliant, the maximum tech we are borrowing, and the only maximum things we're doing is assembling tech here, and we say that it's made in India. So it's a humble request to my own alma mater, if we can create indigenous tech as well, and wherever we can be helpful, we are there. But yes, we should have inclusive sessions whereby we invite these founders and listen their viewpoints. We organize almost 3 to 4 Shark Tanks in the world every month, almost every month. We did one 3 days ago, we did one last week in Vizag as well, one we did in Punjab, and one we did in Delhi. If you ask, in last 10 days, we did 3 Shark Tanks. So all our services are freely available, and we're willing to do that. But as Sir portrayed, Chandigarh really could act as the global hub and global gateway, and can take India on a global map. So I urge for that. Thank you so much.
Dubai under attack